Hey, good morning and welcome to the Sherri-Lee Show. I am Sherri-Lee Wojcik, your host. This is my Facebook page and my show. It is April 29th in my world today, and it's the end of another month and the end of the fourth month of the year. So we're heading into May, and what I know starts happening in May is people start thinking about summer, right? We're coming to the end of the school year, and people are thinking about slowing down for summer. And yet some people have just started picking up momentum. And what's important is that we don't slow down so much that we stop. And I've been seeing this a lot in my life and in other entrepreneurs' lives. There's a lot of start and stopping happening in the world. We do a project and we want to get it done. We want to finish the project. We want to get on to the next thing. And there's a lot of starting and stopping. And so I would encourage you to think about how to create a process in your business that allows you to continue to grow and build and achieve your goals over the course of the summer that doesn't have you stopping over the summer. Hi, Shelly. Good to see you. So I wanted to talk to you today about Facebook groups. That's what I thought I was going to, because I had some people asking me questions about Facebook groups. I have a Facebook group that is, a huge part of my business. I started it in 2014. So it's been around for a while. We're almost at 3,500 people. I know there's lots of groups out there that are a hell of a lot larger than that. My group has grown really a lot in the last 4 months. This year it's been a real focus for me to get more people in a group. So how does a group work excuse me, in your business, and how can you use Facebook groups to help you grow your business? So I see people are joining me. So as you come on, please say hi. Let me know where you are joining me from, and tag your Facebook business page or your Facebook group today. If you have a Facebook group, you can tag it in the comments and let me know what it's about. What is the purpose of your page or your group? So I started a group in 2014, and the purpose was to deepen the conversation. Facebook pages, there's 3 basic places on Facebook that you can manage and grow your business and use your business. And I've been on Facebook since 2008. So quite a while. And when I first came onto Facebook, there was nothing but your personal profile. Pretty sure there was no pages came about right after, or they were just starting when I came on. And what was happening was a lot of people were just promoting their businesses on the profile, and people were angry and up in arms because they didn't want people to be promoting on the profile all the time. They didn't want to make friends with another profile that was just going to do business all the time. So there's 3 main places that you can do business on Facebook. One is your profile. This is intended for your personal use. This is not intended to be your business place on Facebook. And in fact, when you do set up your profile, you agree to terms and conditions that Facebook lays out, and it says right in there that you won't do business directly on your profile. Facebook changed it up to try and limit it. People didn't want business constantly being pushed on them in the profile. So Facebook changed things up and created these separate areas where business could be done. So your Facebook page, your business page, is where your business piece is supposed to be done. And that's where you can run ads, and you've got no limits to how many people can like your page. And you can make all kinds of good connections with people there. You can do retargeting audiences on your Facebook business page. It's very, very robust, and it's an important part. And then groups started out being a place for conversations. So a lot of people started groups around shared common interess. And they became very popular, but then people started using groups for business. So Shelly says she has a group for her prestige members to stay in touch, as so many feel overwhelmed with the emails. So it's for her, it's a way she serves people who are already clients that she wants to connect with and stay in touch with, and stay front of mind for them. So that's one way you can use a Facebook group to serve paying clients. Some people use Facebook groups to be for paid programs, as an area where people in a program can have communication with you throughout the course of the program. And I see those being used an awful lot. So somebody purchased a program, the program is maybe delivered on Zoom, or it's a pre-recorded program that's delivered on something like Teachable or Audible, or it's not Audible, sorry, Thinkific, something like that, where the content is delivered there, but the conversation and the support happens in a Facebook group. I have a few of those, and that's one way you can use Facebook groups to serve and stay connected with paid customers, clients. Then there's also Facebook groups that you can use that are free, open to anyone who's interested in what you do, interested in your niche. So that would be like my Badass Facebook Marketing Club, which is for anybody who has a business who wants to learn how to use Facebook to market their business. They can join that group, and they get lots of ways to promote themselves, but they also have free training there that they get that's a little bit different than what I do here. So you want to make sure when you set up your group that you have a plan for what you're going to use it for in your business, and you know how you're going to implement it and how you're going to use it. And you want to make sure that it's connected to your Facebook page, so that as people come to your Facebook page, if you're driving people to your Facebook page through Facebook ads, then they get an opportunity to see your group as well and learn what your group is about and join your group through your Facebook page. You want to make sure that you create some guidelines for interaction. I've seen a lot of groups go sideways real fast because there aren't enough rules, and it turns into a free-for-all with people just coming in and all they're doing is posting their sales and their promotions. And there's a place for those kind of groups for sure, but know that that's what you're building, if that's what you're building, if that's what you want. So really think about, what do you want this group to do, and how do you want it to serve your clientele? For my free group, my Badass group, for me, it is a place where people come who maybe don't know about me. It is an added bonus to freebies that I give away. So if I give away a lead magnet, they get invited to join the group right on the thank you page of my opt-in sequence. They get invited through the email sequence that they get after they opt into a lead magnet. If I'm running a webinar, as I'm doing on Thursday, then they get invited to that group for further support after the webinar if they'd like. They get invited in there if I'm running a challenge, which has been the best way I've ever used to grow my group. So it's meant to drive people into this group so that they can get to know me a little bit better. I can grow that know, like, and trust relationship with them. I can find out more about what it is they need, what they're doing, what kind of businesses they have, where they are in their businesses, and what they need in order to grow their businesses, what their goals are. So I can find that out in the group so easily. So make sure you get some good rules around interaction in your group. I call them guidelines for my group. I'm not a big fan of rules, and I don't have very many of them. It's basically, say hi when you join, interact and engage and participate often in the group, don't spam the group, and be respectful, play nice. I mean, those are pretty basic rules. I've seen way more extensive rules that people have had, and you have to decide for yourself what those rules are. And then you have to decide, how are you going to attract the right people to that group that you want in that group. Now there's choices when you set up your group. Is it an open group, a closed group, or a secret group? 3 different tiers of types of groups on Facebook. An open group is anybody can see it, anybody can see the content, anybody can see who's involved, anybody can ask to join. It's very open. And when I first started my group, I had it set at that level because I wanted people to see what was happening and want to come in and join us. Then there's the closed group. So in that group, people who aren't a member of the group can see who's in the group, but they can't see what's going on in the group, the conversations, the posts, the interaction that's happening from the group. And I recently changed my group now to a closed group because I want people to see who's there, and I want people to feel a little bit of peer pressure. What's my friend doing in that group? Oh, what's that group about? Let me see if I can join it too, because I want to be there. If so-and-so's there, or if my friend Nancy's there, then I want to be there because Nancy knows good stuff. And if she's participating, then I want to participate. I want that sort of flavor. So a closed group lets people see that you've got the group and who's in the group, but none of the content. Makes it a little bit more secretive and elusive for people, and they want to go in. And then there is the secret group, which is completely invisible. Nobody will find it on Facebook unless you are a friend with them. You can't even add them to the group. They can't search for it. They can't find it. They can't request to be into the group. So that would be, like, I have secret groups for people who are collaborative partners with me, so that we can have conversation. I have secret groups for a friend of mine who is a business coach, where we brainstorm and support each other in our business growth, and we help each other grow our businesses. Nobody needs to see that. It's not open to anybody else. It's a private conversation, but we hold it in a secret group because we're on Facebook anyways. So there's lots of different types of settings that you can choose in the group. You just have to start with knowing what you want to accomplish. And then growing your group and getting people into your group is the next thing. Now, there's people watching. If you want to say hi, I'd love to know who's here. And let me know if you have a group. Share your Facebook group with me, and I'd love to have a look at it. If you don't have a group, if you have a question about running a group, please let me know. So getting people to your Facebook group is probably the thing I get asked about the most. How do I grow my Facebook group? How do I grow my Facebook group? And the first 1,000 people of growth in my Facebook group was challenging. It was a lot of work. But the number one thing that I found to help me grow my Facebook groups was challenges. Running free challenges have been the best way that I have ever grown my Facebook groups. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. So a challenge is a really great way to bring new people into your email list and into your group. It positions you as the expert in your niche. It allows you to give people a taste of what it's like to work with you. And then it also makes it possible for people to work with you easily. So setting up a challenge can be, the first time I did it, it was super time consuming, and I did it on my own. I just figured it out. I'd seen a couple of people do challenges, and I thought, well, that's cool, I can do that. And I started creating, and it took a lot longer than I thought. It was much more intensive than I ever thought. And now, that was, when I did that challenge, I set up a landing page, and people opted into the challenge, which got them into my email list. When they hit the thank you page, they then were invited into the Facebook group. Then, so I got them into 2 places from the challenge. And then they would get an email, and the email would tell them that their training for the day was available. And the training sent them to my membership site on Thinkific. So it sent them to a course on Thinkific. And they got their training on Thinkific, and then they had their conversation in the Facebook group. And I did a Facebook Live every day. And that challenge, I ran that sequence. I ran that, probably half a dozen times in a couple of years, 8 times maybe. And it really, really grew my group tremendously. And I've run different variations of that since then. I've run challenges that just happen in the group to bolster up the engagement in the group, to get more people interacting and to give content. what I didn't do at the beginning very well was sell a product. So I ran a challenge and I gave so much content in this 5-day challenge that at the end of the challenge, nobody needed to buy what I was selling. And I don't remember what it was that I was selling, but I offered it and it kind of fell flat in its face. Nobody wanted it. So there has to be, your challenge has to give enough content that it shows people what you're talking about. You're the expert in your field, and it solves one of their problems. But it also has to show them there's another problem that opens up next after you've solved the first problem. Now there's another problem. And then whatever you're offering afterwards has to become the solution to that problem. So your offer has to be in sequence with the group as well. And you have to be really willing and really able to put yourself out there to run a challenge in a group. It's, it really is something that brings you an increased visibility, increased awareness, and will grow your community fantastically. And you can make sales. Now I remember when I first started doing it, I didn't make a lot of sales at the end. When I started figuring these things out, and I was figuring it out myself. This is how I've done a lot of things in my business, is just see somebody else do it and then figure it out myself. I haven't been good at asking for help in my business. I don't know about you, but I'm getting better at asking for help in my business and saying what I need and bringing the people into my community, whether I hire them or I buy something from them to help me so that I can lessen my learning curve on these things. Hi, Malgorzata. Hi, Elaine. Elaine's an administrator of 3 groups. Elaine, share your group URLs if they're open and you would like new people. Share them. I'd love to know about them. Welcome to you both. So, as I said, when I first did my first challenge, I thought I've always been a fan of over-deliver, and so I over-delivered in the challenge and I didn't have much in sales right after. And the point of the challenge most of the time is to make sales, to lead sequence people into a bigger program that you want them to purchase. And they can be incredibly effective. And I remember after I'd had a couple of flops where I would end the challenge exhausted because of how much work it had been and drained because I was doing Facebook Lives every day and I was just giving so much and then being discouraged because there wasn't enough in sales for me and I'd look back and go, well, I didn't make enough money on the amount of time that I put in. And let's face it, we're in this to make money. We are not in this, unless you're independently wealthy, to just give, right? So then I started figuring it out and I started pulling back on some of my content and I started putting some boundaries in around what I was going to teach, and I started asking myself, if I learn this, does that program make sense? Is that program the next step? And I realized that I was missing a gap, and then I started running some more ads, and then I had my first successful challenge, and I spent around $500 in ads. I got 250 new people onto my email list and into my group. I was super happy with that. I sold I believe it was a $97 program after, and I made $1,500. And I went, holy crap, I 3 times my ad spend, I made money, I've got people in this program, I'm thrilled. And since then, that has just grown and grown and grown. And now when I run a challenge, I have got a much better plan in place. I have guidelines that I've created on how to implement that challenge, how to get really focused on what the content is. I've got the ads sorted out so that I can get the right people into the challenge. I've got the interaction happening in the group. I've got it so that people are getting enough information that they are able to implement without being overwhelmed. I also overwhelmed people in the first challenge and they couldn't get all the work done that I was asking them to do in a day because I was trying to give them too much information. And this has turned into the #1 way that I grow my email list, grow my group, and create revenue in my business. And this is such an important piece if you want to grow your business on Facebook, that you do this. So, any questions about Facebook groups, about how to use them for your business? Sue, I think a Facebook group would be a tremendous addition to your business. Sue does running tours, marathon running tours, so people who want to travel to amazing locations and then run with her. She does an amazing thing. This would be a great way to keep the communication going in before, during, and after. So there's so many ways that you can use groups in your business. Hi, Janice and Elaine. Thank you for sharing your groups. I'm going to go and have a look at those. So I have a program starting on Thursday called the Likes to Leads program. And in this program, you will set up a challenge for your group and you will learn how to run ads to that challenge. You will get your landing pages set up. You will outline your content of your challenge. You will learn how to deliver your content. You will get your landing pages and your thank you pages set up. You will learn how to run ads to drive people to those landing pages so that you will grow your email list and you will grow your group members. And then you will learn how to make the offer during the challenge to something in your business, a program or a service that will make sense. So this program is an 8-week program. That's kind of the cornerstone of the big learning in that group, is implementing a challenge for your group. But we also will implement Facebook ads to grow your email list. It's about collecting leads from your time on Facebook. So Facebook ads to run, grow your email list, which means we're going to get into installing your Facebook pixel and creating retargeting audiences so that you can build relationships, doing a weekly Facebook show like this, and running ads to start messenger conversations. So there's a lot of Facebook ad training in this program. You get a challenge created. You're going to learn how to do a weekly Facebook show like this and use this to collect leads onto your email list to get people to sign up. And this program starts on Thursday. So if anybody is interested in that, just comment Likes to Leads and I will reach out to you and we'll have a conversation. I don't have a sales page. I don't have any of that stuff. This is just a simple, no obligation conversation that we have to talk about it, to make sure it's right for you and to make sure that you're in the right place to implement what we're learning in this program. Sue hasn't created a group yet, but she's been thinking about it. I think it would be really good for you, Sue. I mean, you could have a free group for people who are interested in the running tours, and then you could have a paid group for anybody who went on any tour. So imagine if you had people who went on a tour with you to Australia and people who went on a tour with you to South Africa, and they could meet and talk, and the South African people could say, this was a great tour, and the Australian people would then go, oh my goodness, I want to do that one as well with Sue. That's so great. So there's a place there for you, I think, to have two groups, one that's open and free to anybody who wants to learn more about running tours or start putting running into their lives, or getting training for a marathon, or learning how to marathon, do their first marathon. Then after they've done their first, now they want to do exotic marathons like the ones you host. And then a paid group for people who've actually paid you and gone on a tour with you. It would be a great place for them to continue their relationship with you. I think that would be tremendous, Sue. And it sounds overwhelming. You don't have to start both at the same time. You could start the paid one and just start adding people who are in there and get your feet wet with that one, and move on from there. But you could also run a challenge, Sue, to grow your group, for people who are preparing for their first marathon. And you could, if you wanted to put time into that, and then support them in their preparation for the marathon, and then promote an exotic marathon to them at the end of it. Just some thoughts off the top of my head. Okay, we are at time. Thank you so much for being here with me. Let me know if this inspired you to create a group or change up how you used a group, or how you're going to implement groups in your business. And if you need assistance with how that would look, how you might be able to work it, reach out to me and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. If you're interested in the program, please let me know and just type in Likes to Leads or message me and we can have a conversation about what that program looks like, and how you could participate in it. And we will see you back here next Monday for another episode. If you have something that you're working on, or if you have a question about Facebook, Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, Facebook groups, Facebook Messenger, please let me know. You can send me a message here on my page. Ask the question and I will feature you on the show. I will give you a shout out. I will tell people what you do and what you're about, and I will answer your question here on the show. So thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you on Facebook.